So again, I'm going to just go over where the indentation, saggy, gravity thing is happening, right? I'm not going to be going crazy like, oh, that looks shadow, we need shadow. No, we're isolating, right? Okay, now, the other thing I want to do to pop, because I'm going to take it all off anyway, is I have lots of wrinkles around my eyes. Nothing I can do about those because they're too small. So what I want to do is sort of lift and distract. So I go literally like this at the top of the cheekbone, going out from the eye. And I want to make it pop and distract. Because again, we're dealing with light and shadow. We're not dealing with editorial. We're going for a natural look. So I'm going to go over that, but it's going to pop what wrinkles I have. Now, if you're really worried about bags, you can try this again, because you can take off as much as you want sometimes, but you go light first, except with this little recreation part. Now, if you're really worried about the bag, take it as the bag would shape, but you got to be real careful with this one. And do your same little jowl things that you're going to do here. Again, light and shadow. We're sort of trying to get rid of those bags by putting something that's not going to create crevices like a foundation would. Why? Because you're going to go over this with powder foundation, the Holy Grail. Okay, so then I'm going to I'm not too concerned about it really on that eye, so screw that. Okay, maybe just to make it a little more even. Okay, now freaky clown face, but that's not what it's going to look like. You should not have this much powder in between your eye like that. Now, one other thing, since I have a long face that I do, again, it's a little clowny at first, is this. To bring my face out more, since I've sort of tried to erase this, is I go jawline. Bring the face wider. Long face, right? Jawline. Again, the lightness is going to bring out the face. I don't want to do this kind of thing, but it's going to, Now, the one thing you do, I don't want to call it the drag queen trick, but I'm not going to do it by doing another no-no, which is taking any kind of thin little brush or whatever and creating a nose line. Again, way too draggy. But I am going to do slowly the trick of the nose. I have a wide nose, but I still want to create a line. So I'm going to do the usual whiteness traveling up to the top and going to the bottom. Don't worry about this because you can brush it and blend underneath. Okay, so now I have my clown look on, right? I've accentuated all the areas that I want. Brightness, I'm not covering up with this. This is like clown skeleton. Okay, now, invest in these, please. Your brushes and your blending is like, again, the holy grail of makeup. So now we're going to take, we've used the e.l.f., what is kind of considered translucent powder, but it can be clown makeup. And I'm going to take my choice of what I see as closest. Again, this stuff costs like $4, $7, whatever on Amazon. I happen to like the Revlon. Only use powder foundation, please. I'm telling you. Now, I usually like to keep this a lighter one, this a darker one, whatever. It all blends together, so who cares? Now, what I like to do is get a lot on there to get it deep into the brush, not get it in there, then blow the excess off. With foundation, again, light, 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 you can always go more. Okay, so now, one of the areas I go over kind of first is that I go over like, this area, right? Okay, now, we have not, gone back over this with any tinted anything. We are now working with powder foundation exclusively. Now, the natural look is going to have wrinkles. I hate to tell you, you can't escape being 45. So what I do is I stay away from wrinkly areas, okay? I get crinkles here. I don't want to touch those because if I cover them, there's more crevices, right? So I'm really going to take this foundation and go over the areas that I just made this skeleton face. Again, deep blow. Now, what am I going to do? I'm going to ruin my work. Lightly, deep, lightly. I'm not getting rid of it yet because there's blending to do. I'm just evening out the connective lines, okay? Maybe just a little brush. It should start to look more natural, but maybe leaving a little bit of your building that you did. So you can kind of bed, once you have enough foundation on there, you don't have to keep dipping. Again, you're just evening the lines of the shadows and lights that you created. Maybe a little more. Never too much foundation under the eyes. Okay, please. Again, you know, even. Okay, now, we have done that, right? Right. Again, we're going to ruin some of our work here. Now, I'm not going back into the foundation because I got kind of quite a bit both in there from digging deep and from what I've been doing here. It's jostling it around. It's picking up more foundation, right? Okay, now, problem areas. Again, everything light. I have problem areas here with some freckling, here with some cancer stuff that I had done. I have broken blood vessels around here. Oh my God, guys, please throw this in the garbage. Now, what you're going to do is you're going to go back into your foundation. You're not going to blow so much off this time. Just shake. And then those problem areas, you're going to go over with maybe just a little bit too much that you normally would. Okay, problem area. Again, we're staying away from covering up the wrinkly areas. Problem area, remember, okay. Now, we are staying away, like I said, from wrinkly areas. Again, this was light. We did a little bit with that. We want to erase a little bit of our work. Okay, now we've done the erasing. Now we're going to go back into our powder foundation, Holy Grail, just enough. And now we're going to do our evening before our final blending. So again, we're staying away from the wrinkly crinklies. We're just kind of going over and further evening out the things that we've already done. You're sort of now destroying your work. Not too much. Why? Because we are using foundation very lightly. Okay, I'm not blowing as much as I should. Remember those jaw things. Okay, now we've got really as much foundation, not ever too much here, because then it's like pores. Again, we're leaving what we can't do anything about alone. Okay, now we are foundationed. Of course, you want to get the ears so they look even. And the only thing that really gets seen on camera are these like neck muscly parts. So, okay, now, most important part, like I've said, blending. Take your blending brush. Try to keep one as a blender with not crap on it and the other is a whatever, doing what. Okay, final thing. We're going to ruin our work. Why? Because the skin has 17 different colors. We don't want to have created any matte crap like this shit's going to do. Okay? And then more of this shit? No. Okay, sorry. Excuse the language. Now, like I said, blend. Blend softly and lightly. You're not ruining your work. You're going to go back over what you did, and actually blending can be this light. Why?